You're watching Channel 13, WTHR, Indianapolis. Now, with coverage you can count on, Bruce Kopp, Liz Daly, and Chuck Lofton's SkyTrack weather. This is Channel 13 Eyewitness News at noon.
Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us for Eyewitness News at noon. I'm Pat Carlini.
And I'm Liz Daly. Bruce Kopp has the day off. To our top story now, less than 24 hours after dangerous storms hit central Indiana, once again, severe weather is moving into our area this noon. Chuck Lofton joins us with details. Chuck?
Okay, Liz, thanks very much. You know, after a night like last night when we had so many bad storms, we may be thinking, uh-oh, here we go again. I don't know that that's necessarily the case, though. This is the severe thunderstorm watch issued for a good part of our viewing area until 5 o'clock this evening. It would include the Richmond area over towards Rushville, Shelbyville, Nashville, and then over towards Ripley County. Now, we want to show you Doppler Plus radar, and there is not a lot of rain showing up. This is ground clutter here. You can see the lightning strikes in Ohio, and then this line of storms that'd be just outside a mile and over towards Lawrenceburg and headed towards Cincinnati and then northern Kentucky. There is nothing of note in our area right now. However, the possibility exists that we could see some thunderstorms in east central and southeastern part of our viewing area this afternoon. Still, we believe that despite the severe thunderstorm watch, it's just going to be a hot and humid day. But the watch, again, in effect for a portion of our area until 5 o'clock. We're going to go more in depth on all that and also paint the portrait of a very warm week ahead in just a little bit. Pat and Liz?
Okay, Chuck, we'll check with you then. Thanks.
Well, central Indiana residents are taking a closer look this noon at damage from last night's round of severe weather. In Lebanon, it poured down rain and looked much like a scene out of the movie Twister. From there, the storm moved east with high winds and bolts of lightning. Residents in Westfield and Noblesville were hit next. This apartment was struck by lightning. Firefighters say the blaze set off by lightning strike was contained to that one apartment. Fortunately, there were no injuries from last night's severe weather. The heavy rains caused flash flooding in many parts of north central Indiana as well. In Crawfordsville, traffic along US 231 was slowed to a crawl when the downpours triggered a flash flood. Farm fields already saturated by a rainy month of June are beginning to take on a swamp-like appearance. Residents in Linden are fighting floodwaters as well. Ironically, they live on Water Street, and water is up to their doorstep.
It comes right up to the step on each side, but that's usually about as far as it's got. And my wife was here once before a couple years ago, and it got a little bit higher than that.
Folks in the town say the waters rise every time it rains, and they want the county to correct the drainage problem.
In other news now, police are investigating leads in the murder of a Muncie pizza parlor manager. 55-year-old Sandra Bellamy was found shot to death in her car early Sunday morning across the street from Pizza Junction. She was on her way to make a routine night deposit. Police tell us the victim's brother and sister-in-law saw the attack. They were traveling behind the car. No arrests have been made. It was no accident. Fire officials say arson is to blame for an early morning fire at an abandoned union hall in Shreveport, Louisiana. Authorities say transients, drug users, and juveniles also had used the building at one time. There are no reports of injuries, but the building was heavily damaged. Investigators don't know if it's related to a string of fires at black churches that have occurred in the past 18 months. Well, Hoosiers are pitching in to help rebuild many of the churches burned in the South. Yesterday, the congregations of 18 Indianapolis churches of different denominations and races came together at Market Square Arena for an unprecedented show of unity. The Celebration of Hope, a rally like no other in the country, helped raise money to rebuild dozens of churches torched. The goal of the service, to build a city of hope.
FAA investigators are sifting through the wreckage of a twin-engine Aztec plane in Alabama, trying to figure out what went wrong. The plane was traveling from Key West, Florida to Shelby County Airport when it nosedived into a peach orchard last night in Clanton, Alabama. No survivors have been found so far at the crash site. Authorities say as many as 5 people may have been aboard the plane. A commuter plane carrying 32 passengers and crew made a belly landing at Orlando International Airport yesterday. A hydraulic failure locked up the landing gear on Comair Flight 3599 from Nassau, Bahamas. Air traffic controllers directed the plane to a closed runway. With firefighters on alert, the pilot dumped excess fuel and landed the plane on its belly. The plane was covered with foam as a precaution, but there was no fire. No one was injured in the landing.
The man charged with a series of deadly package bombings has arrived in the city where he'll go to trial. Federal marshals flew Unabomber suspect Theodore Kaczynski from Montana to Sacramento, California yesterday. Kaczynski has been indicted on 10 counts of transporting, mailing, and using bombs. 2 of the attacks linked to Sacramento were fatal. The Justice Department has not yet said if it will seek the death penalty.
Well, the White House is glad the Supreme Court will decide whether a sexual harassment suit against President Clinton can proceed. The High Court action effectively postpones the suit until after the November election. Briefs filed by Clinton's private attorney say the duties of the presidency shield Clinton from the suit by former Arkansas employee Paula Corbin Jones while Clinton is in office. And there's more controversy at the White House, and it revolves around a book. In his new book, Watergate reporter Bob Woodward says Hillary Rodham Clinton got through some tough times at the White House with the help of a psychic researcher. More from NBC's John Palmer.
In an interview broadcast last night on Dateline NBC, Woodward told Stone Phillips that Jean Houston, co-director of the Foundation for Mind Research, was among those consulted by the First Lady.
In one rather extraordinary moment in the solarium atop the White House, Jean Houston asked the First Lady to shut her eyes and carry on an imaginary conversation with Eleanor Roosevelt.
Woodward also says Houston got Mrs. Clinton to hold an imaginary conversation with the late Indian leader Gandhi. White House Chief of Staff Leon Panetta had this comment.
The First Lady is a human being like everybody else. She seeks out guidance from her friends, from advisors, from others. She seeks out information, experiences to try to help strengthen her. I can't tell you how many Hail Marys I've said in this job since I've become Chief of Staff.
Some Washington observers say the revelations could lead to a comparison between Mrs. Clinton and Nancy Reagan, who consulted an astrologer and used the information she gained to schedule presidential trips and key events. But Mrs. Clinton's spokesman shrugged off the matter, saying Mrs. Clinton used the consultations to get ideas for her book and to cope with tough times. John Palmer, NBC News at the White House.
The biggest paddle wheeler ever built will be back in Indiana this week. The American Queen riverboat will be docking in Troy, Indiana tomorrow morning for a big celebration. This is just one of the stops the American Queen will be making as it heads for Louisville, Kentucky on Wednesday. Second best will have to do for James Dean's hometown of Fairmont, Indiana. The late actor will be honored today by the U.S. Postal Service in Burbank, California, but Fairmont will hold a second-day ceremony tomorrow.
I'm sure they'll make it worth the wait. Well, when Eyewitness News at noon continues, Mr. Food shows us a great snack to dip into while we enjoy our next barbecue outdoors.
And later in health news, find out how the sun can be the best medicine for a common skin disease. That's when Eyewitness News continues.
Oh, we'd love some of that medicine today.
SkyTrack weather on Eyewitness News. It's state-of-the-art weather technology like Storm Tracker that can pinpoint when and where a storm will hit. First Alert Storm Warning System, Doppler Plus radar, and the team of Bob Gregory, Chuck Lofton, and Bill Meck. SkyTrack weather on Eyewitness News. It's weather like you've never seen before. It's coverage you can count on. Closed captioning of Eyewitness News is brought to you in part by Revco Drugstores. Revco, a friend for life.
They come from every part of America, training a lifetime for one chance at greatness. They're our best hopes and our closest thing to perfection. They're our Olympic athletes, and this summer, they're the home team. The Olympics, America's Games on NBC.
Winding Way Farms, your best source for health food.
I shop at Winding Way Farms because the knowledgeable people here and everything's organized really well, and I can go right to whatever I need.
I shop at Winding Way Farms because of the personal service I get here.
It's very important to me to feed my family wholesome, natural foods.
Anything that can be found in a health food store, Winding Way Farms certainly has it.
I have never felt better in my whole life. I feel great, and I owe part of it to my mother and the other part to Winding Way Farms.
By the time I got to work, my makeup called it quits. But Corn Silk lasts because it's oil-free and oil-absorbing. It does the job beautifully.
That natural look of corn silk. It's oil absorbent, not just oil free.
Boy meets girl. It happens every day. It could happen to you. Just call our local number and listen to single men and women from the Indianapolis area as they describe themselves and the people they'd like to meet. We're the People Store. We don't use 900 numbers and we never charge for the call. Our voice system is totally automated, so you never have to talk to our staff. Call anytime and discover a very private way to meet nice people in the Indianapolis area. The People Store. It could happen to you.
Chuck Lofton, SkyTrack 13 weather has the seal of approval from the National Weather Association.
Tell you what, it was nice to see the sunshine this morning. Some pretty frightening moments for those of us who live on the northeast side of Indianapolis last night. We were in the bathroom for about, interior, we don't have a basement, for about a half hour last night.
It was a good idea. I mean, it was really nasty there.
I don't think, Chuck, you had a drop of rain at your house,
Didn't have a drop of rain at our place. I do a lot of praying, Liz.
No.
No, that was a horrible night last night. I had 5 or 6 different tornado warnings. It looks like now perhaps one tornado near Sheridan, but now we've got this severe thunderstorm watch, so we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. I'm pretty optimistic, though. You know, I heard someone yesterday speak the unspeakable. They said, I can't wait for fall. Well, now, don't feel that way. We are going to see some good weather tomorrow, but today, at least the chance for some strong storms in a part of our viewing area, and I think that chance is diminishing rapidly. Again, the severe thunderstorm watch now is in effect until 5 o'clock for these counties in east central and southeastern Indiana, basically in our viewing area from Richmond all the way down towards Ripley County and Franklin County, and then over towards Nashville. Rushville and Shelbyville are included in that. On our Doppler Plus radar from Eyewitness News, not much rain at all. You can see it crossing the border in the Ohio River, stretching from near Cincinnati all the way down towards Lexington. And the area that you see right around Indianapolis, that's not ground zero, that's ground clutter. So right now we're in pretty good shape. Let's take a look outside, and ooh, this is where I'd like to be. This is a swimming pool up on the north side near 86th Street. You can see those 3 just about ready to jump in. I'd love to be out there. Currently, it's warming up. Our temperature officially in Indianapolis at the airport is 82. Hey, here's the good news. The wind out of the northwest at 14, that means a front has passed, and we did see some rain about 9 o'clock this morning here with the passage of that front. That's a very good sign for us, a rising barometer. Now, we're going to be looking for more storms to the southeast today, but I really don't think we're going to get much here. Now, that's good news because those of you in west central and northwestern Indiana, from Lafayette to Covington over to Terre Haute along the Wabash, saw 2 to 5 inches of rain last night. At Covington, the Wabash now a little over 16 feet, and that's high. And it looks like the Wabash will continue to be high the rest of the week. So let's hope we don't get more rain. This is a look at the satellite imagery, and you can see now clear skies in Minnesota and Iowa, a little bit of shower and thunderstorm activity right now in the Dakotas, but I just don't think that's going to affect us. Look how that rain has skedaddled into Ohio, and you can see this line of storms now that we talked about. That is a definite line. Looks to me like this is right along the front as it moves very slowly off to the east-northeast. So again, a positive sign for us because it means that even though there could be some severe weather this afternoon in Ohio, our chances for that here are diminishing. Doesn't mean we're not going to get a thunderstorm, but it means that it looks like we're in much better shape than we were, say, 3 or 4 hours ago. Later tonight, the mild air moves in as this thunderstorm system continues to drop off to the south. There is a chance tomorrow for some rain in southern Illinois, but I don't think we're going to get any here. In fact, I think tomorrow is going to be a nice mild day in the 80s. Speaking of that, here's my forecast for today. Mixture of sun and clouds, very muggy. 88 is going to be our high, and again, a chance for a thunderstorm mainly south of Indianapolis. Then tonight, down to 64 straight thunderstorm around. Tomorrow looks pretty good. 84 is going to be the high, and my extended forecast, check it out, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Hot, hot, hot. With one of those pop-up thunderstorms possible, we should hit the big 9-0 on Friday, and I may be conservative in that. It could conceivably be warmer than that, but it's Monday, so we've got time. We've got a long way to go. We'll have another update for you in just a few minutes.
I went to see the movie Twister this weekend.
What did you think?
Went in with sunlight, came out, and the skies we felt like we were still in the movie because it had the threatening skies right afterwards.
We'd go this weekend, yeah.
Why did I go today?
I probably should have waited for the videotape, but that's just my opinion.
We know what she thinks of that movie now, yes. Well, chips, veggies, and dip are often the center attraction at summer parties and picnics. Mr. Food has a recipe for do-it-all dips that will liven up any barbecue.
At so many of our outdoor parties, we start scurrying around for a dressing for the salad or a dip for the veggies or a sauce for the chicken. Well, if we had some favorite tasting do-it-alls on hand, no problem. How easy. Well, here we've simply mixed together mayonnaise, honey, yellow mustard, parsley flakes, vinegar, and onion powder. That's it. Honey mustard dressing. That quick for your salad dressing or your veggie dip or a sauce for your chicken or meat. I mean, honey mustard is so popular today that it fits with almost anything. And you're always right. Oh, wait, there's more. Here's a roasted pepper dip. Again, by mixing together roasted peppers, sour cream, garlic, and salt. It works the same. It's a dressing, it's a dip, or a sauce. And the taste is in now for sure. And for dessert, here's a mixture of cream cheese, marshmallow cream, and a couple tablespoons of an amaretto liqueur or an almond extract. That'll take care of needing a fruit dip or a cake topping or a filling. I mean, you name it, it fits. All with no cooking. It's simply mixing. Now, that's my style of easy. And all with light ingredients, if you didn't notice, that they'll never even suspect because the flavors are so full and rich. Oh, if you'd like the recipes, just send a self-addressed stamped envelope marked Do-It-All Dips to me, Mr. Food, right here at the station. And we'll get it back to you for easily turning what everybody else serves as plain old everyday into your own exciting. Ooh, it's so good.
Now, if you're interested in getting the recipe for Do-It-All Dip, send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Mr. Food Recipes, care of WTHR, Channel 13, P.O. Box 1313, Indianapolis, Indiana 46206. Make sure to put Do-It-All Dips on the envelope so we'll know which recipe to send you. Mr. Food offers his cooking advice Monday through Thursday here at noon and on Channel 13 Eyewitness News Saturday morning.
The statistics are startling. Today in the United States, 3 children will die because of child abuse. Tonight on Positively Indiana, I'll introduce you to someone who's trying to prevent those statistics. Richard Probst, himself a survivor of child abuse, will travel 200 miles from Indianapolis to Chicago in his wheelchair with a rollerblader behind him and a fundraising campaign to promote education and awareness about child abuse and programs to help prevent it. It's called the Tenderness Tour, and this evening this is something he's doing. He's been doing since 1989, actually, but this year he has a support team traveling with him. His goal is to raise $10,000. 100% of the donations will benefit child abuse prevention programs in Indiana and Chicago. If you would like to donate to the Tenderness Tour, call the Indiana chapter of Prevention of Child Abuse at 634-9282 and learn more about Richard's campaign of hope and empowerment on Positively Indiana tonight during Eyewitness News at 5:30.
When Eyewitness News continues, Entertainment News takes a look at a big movie deal the star of Twister is negotiating.
Also ahead, what you should know about surviving a plane crash. Find out how to increase your chances of surviving. The details when Eyewitness News continues.
I'm Jill Dittmeyer. In my HealthCast report tonight, a breakthrough in the fight against
When it's medical news that could change your life.
The FDA has just approved a new drug helping people to
And you need to know now. You'll hear it first in Jill Dittmeyer's HealthCast reports. Sponsored by Revco. Weeknights only on Eyewitness News. It's coverage you can count on.
This summer, come for the Reds. Stay for the Cubs. Call for a free Too Much Fun kit. And the next time you're in town to see the Reds, visit the zoo and see how wild the rest of Cincinnati can be. This summer, come for the Reds. Stay for the Phillies. Call for a free Too Much Fun kit. And the next time you're in Cincinnati to see the Reds, check out all the other reasons everyone's racing to town.
Are you a woman who suffers from chronic pelvic pain? We offer modern diagnosis and treatment. Let us help. Call 872-1515 for an appointment.
days only. Get serious about weight loss.
If you care enough about your car to equip it with the accessories you enjoy and the protection you need, bring it to Z-Bar Tidy Car during our winning combination sale.
Save on truck and van running boards, tonneaus, bed liners, and much, much more. Now at 10% off suggested retail. Save on Z-Bar window tints starting at $99.95.
Z-Bar Tidy Car, because it's more than transportation. It's your car.
Eyewitness Views from WTHR. It's your guide to the Summer Olympics on Channel 13. Look for your free copy coming soon to your mailbox.
In business news this noon, the trip to the gas pump is getting less expensive. A nationwide survey finds gas prices down $0.015 in the past 2 weeks. That adds up to a drop of about 3 cents since gas prices peaked in late May. One analyst says the shortages that forced the price of gas up earlier this year have been corrected, and there's nowhere to go but down now that Iraq has been allowed to sell oil. A survey of 10,000 gas stations finds the average price for all grades, including taxes, at $1.35.28. In other business news, while the U.S. auto industry celebrates its 100th anniversary, a Japanese automaker is looking back too. Toyota has unveiled a limited edition replica of its very first car, the 1936 Model AA. The price tag, $75,000.
Well, most people have thought about a plane crash at one time or another, but when those planes go down, there are many times survivors. Chuck Henry tells us some things everyone should know about surviving a plane crash.
I saw that the plane was disintegrating. I saw that there was absolutely no hope that we were going to land.
A 737 is ripped open in mid-flight, and there are survivors. No matter how fiery the crash, or twisted the wreckage, or watery the landing, there are things that you can do to improve your chances of getting out alive. First, don't bring on the plane what you don't absolutely need.
Don't bring on things that are overly heavy, and also make sure they're enclosed. Should there be any unanticipated turbulence, that things aren't flying in the cabin that could injure you.
Second, dress for survival. The safest clothes are also the most comfortable. Cottons and wools, natural fibers that won't ignite.
It's really better not to wear polyester clothing, and for the ladies, not to wear pantyhose. The fabric is a little more highly flammable, and should you need to go down the slides in any emergency situation, unfortunately, it will burn your skin.
Wear shoes that won't fall off in an accident, not high heels. And third, if you think there is a problem with the aircraft, ask questions. Speak up.
It's awful strange that God drew the line where he drew it. Because people behind me didn't make it.
80% of all airline crashes are survivable. Now, having said that, the obvious question is, where is the safest place on an airplane to sit? Well, the answer to that question may surprise you. There is no one seat that's safer than any other. If you think of safety as strength, remember our fourth tip. The strongest part of the aircraft is over the wings, and seats there also have quick access to the emergency window exits, just in case. Chuck Henry, NBC News, Los Angeles.
Well, of course, this is the time of year when a lot of us like to get into the garden, those of us who have a green thumb, those of us who don't.
Even try it too.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right, and I'm one of those people. Well, now that summer is in full swing, many of us like to head out to the garden to plant flowers, vegetables, or just to relieve stress. Because of all the benefits, gardening has become America's favorite pastime. Later on Channel 13 Eyewitness News, we're going to introduce you to a new magazine, as well as demonstrate how easy gardening can be inside or out. And we have a couple things here now. Pat, I know you really would enjoy this right here.
The frog.
The flowers are gorgeous, and these are real. I know people keep saying, are they real? They're water lilies.
Beautiful.
And then the frog is something that you can put out in your garden. What it is, it's actually a motion detector. And these are just different ways that you can landscape. See what happens when motion goes in front of it. So
I see. So it has
well,
something,
sort of, a certain kind of motion.
Type of garden that has something to do with frogs and water lilies.
Well, what it does is it's water gardening. It's how to landscape with ponds, those type of things
I like
for
that.
people.
You don't have to water the plants at all.
Oh, they're gorgeous
That's
too.
the best kind. We'll look forward to that.
Very nice, thanks.
Thank you. And entertainment news. Helen Hunt is ready for her next big screen project, and CBS is the latest network to speak out against the Nielsen ratings gathering techniques. Amy Powell has the details in the E! Entertainment Report.
CBS is questioning the AC Nielsen company over the accuracy of its ratings gathering system, particularly in the late night time period. The network cited discrepancies in the numbers for The Late Show with David Letterman. In the two gathering systems the Nielsen company uses, the ratings are significantly higher in one sample than the other. CBS released some of its own research that states the audiences for all late-night programming, including the competition, have been underreported. The Nielsen company says it's standing by its own system. While Helen Hunt's in the spotlight with her Twister success, it's the right time to negotiate her next movie deal. She's doing just that. She's in talks to join Jack Nicholson on the big screen.
That wasn't so bad. Let's get God, why can't we spend a normal?
Hunt is close to signing on to join Nicholson in Old Friends, playing a waitress who forms an unlikely trio with two men. One is old, while the other is flamboyantly gay. Nicholson's attached to play the old man. Hunt would replace actress Holly Hunter, who backed out of the movie. Production begins in September.
You wait me, screw. What's your face?
Another remake is in the works. This time it's an updated version of Angels with Dirty Faces, about two childhood friends. One grows up to be a gangster, the other a priest. The original starred James Cagney and Humphrey Bogart. The new version is being developed by Chaz Palminteri, who's also attached to star in the movie.
I asked you to be in the woods that night. I told you.
And you can catch Susan Sarandon's Oscar-winning performance in Dead Man Walking. It hits video stores this week. Also out on home video, Sense and Sensibility. It won co-star Emma Thompson an Oscar for Best Adapted Screenplay. That's all for the E! Entertainment Report. I'm Amy Powell.
Also out today on home video, The Crossing Guard with Jack Nicholson and Dracula, Dead and Loving It.
Well, still to come at noon, exercise is a breeze in space. We'll have an update on the astronauts' workout mission aboard the Space Shuttle Columbia.
Also ahead, hundreds are being chased from their homes as wildfires continue to burn out of control. We'll have the details when Eyewitness News at noon continues.
I like shopping at Winding Way Farms because of the service, the quality of the products. The people are just excellent.
I own my own business, and taking vitamins and minerals and supplements really alleviate the stress that accumulates during the course of the day.
I have never felt better in my whole life, and I thank Winding Way Farms.
I travel all the way from Muncie, Indiana, Castleville, to shop at Winding Way Farms. I love it here.
I only have one dad. He's a great guy, an active guy. But as a result of his diabetes, he developed a wound that just wouldn't heal. He said he could live with it, but I couldn't.
The Wound Care Center can help. We use advanced techniques and therapies you just can't find anywhere else.
You should have seen his face when he walked in the door.
Call the Wound Care Center, 1-800-507-3375.
There is a neighborhood organization that reaches out to our area's families and supports family activities. After all, we know how important families are in today's world. Perhaps your family has heard of this organization, or maybe you've even eaten there. McDonald's. We feed the community in more ways than one.
Get up close and personal with one of nature's most amazing forces, the volcano. It's Ring of Fire, now playing at the new Cinedome Theater at the Children's Museum of Indianapolis. It's an all-around good time.
Tight shoes make your feet hurt. Oh. Introducing IPR, the amazing silk polymer formula for friction-free comfort between your shoes and your feet. So you can stand, you can walk, you can even dance without your shoes hurting. IPR, if your feet could talk, they'd sing.
If you have wrinkles and puffiness under your eyes and don't want plastic surgery, I recommend Sudden Change Under Eye. It's a special cosmetic serum that removes the appearance of wrinkles and puffiness in minutes. Sudden Change Under Eye. No prescription needed.
With coverage you can count on, this is Channel 13 Eyewitness News at noon with Bruce Kopp, Liz Daly, and Chuck Lofton.
Welcome back to Eyewitness News at noon. Police are investigating leads in the murder of a Muncie pizza parlor manager. 55-year-old Sandra Bellamy was found shot to death in her car early Sunday morning across the street from Pizza Junction. She was on her way to make a routine night deposit. Police tell us the victim's brother and sister-in-law saw the attack. They were traveling behind the car. No arrests have been made. Another suspicious fire at a black church, this time an abandoned black church in Shreveport, Louisiana. Fire officials say the New Birth Temple Church in Shreveport suffered heavy damage from the flames. Authorities say 2 pedestrians reported the fire just after midnight. The cause of the fire is under investigation. There have been about 40 suspicious fires at mostly black churches since January of 1995. Wildfires have forced hundreds of people from their homes in Arizona and Nevada. One fire has charred 8,600 acres north of Flagstaff. 2 neighborhoods were evacuated, and officials say they came very close to the main highway linking Flagstaff and the Grand Canyon. 10 hikers had to be airlifted out of the canyon yesterday. A wildfire in that area has destroyed 1,500 acres so far. The crew of Space Shuttle Columbia continues its mission with more workouts on tap today. The astronauts will study the effects of weightlessness. So far, the astronauts report little problem with exercise, but NASA scientists say it should become more difficult for the astronauts to exercise in orbit as their muscles weaken from prolonged exposure to weightlessness. That's a check of today's news. Let's go to Chuck Lofton now for a look at today's weather. Chuck?
And we have some very good news, Pat. If you remember just a few minutes ago, I said I wasn't just real impressed that these thunderstorms are going to be very significant because it looked like everything was moving out. Well, now the severe thunderstorm watch that originally was in effect until 5 o'clock has been canceled by the National Weather Service for this area from Richmond over to Rushville, Shelbyville, and then down towards Greensburg. So certainly that's good news. It is very summer-like outside. 82 our current temperature here, 84 in Columbus and in Bloomington. It's already 85 over in the Hote. And this is a look at the satellite map, and we are seeing a lot of sunshine, just a few high clouds coming in right now. But notice, too, this area of cloudiness, some very nasty thunderstorms moving into Ohio around Mansfield, Akron, and Cleveland. But for us, at least right now, it's dry. We could see a stray thunderstorm later, but a hot one at 88. We'll have another update in just a little bit. Pat?
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Chuck. Well, for more than 80 years, Visiting Nurse Service has provided skilled and compassionate health care for Central Indiana families and their homes. Now the foundation is asking for your help. For more, let's join Liz for our Focus Report.
Thanks, Pat. The Visiting Nurse Service Foundation has a financial goal to meet to continue providing quality, cost-effective health care to needy Central Indiana residents. The foundation hopes to reach that goal through its Fund Drive charity golf outing. That's coming up next month. Joining us this noon to tell us more about the event and Visiting Nurse Service is Judy Moon. Thank you very much for being here.
It's my pleasure.
Before we talk about the golf outing, you are a nurse with the Visiting Nurse Service.
Yes, I am.
Tell us a little bit about what the Visiting Nurse Service is. It's provided a tremendous service to the community for 8 decades now.
Right. Visiting Nurse Service brand, we've been around for 84 years, and we do all kinds of anybody who needs care in the home, and the push to get people out of the hospitals today, we do a lot of acute care. We do it all the way from babies all the way up to, I talked to a lady the other day, 109 years old.
Oh, terrific, terrific. What's the criteria for getting a Visiting Nurse Service? Because you rely on the donations of a lot of good-hearted people, correct?
Yes, we do. The criteria, you just need to have some type of an illness, and we'll take care of you. For the Medicare and Medicaid, you have to have a skilled need, and most likely, in most instances, you have to have some kind of physical problem, physical or mental. We do mental health also to meet the criteria.
Okay, now this golf outing, is it a first, or is this the first time you've had a golf outing for a fundraiser?
This is our 4th year.
Okay.
We've had a really good time with this. They always let me play, so the other people feel a lot better about their golf game. But it's a lot of fun, and it's a way to meet the needs that we have at Visiting Nurse Service.
Okay, tell us when and where.
July 25th. It starts at 1 o'clock, and then we have a dinner around 7. Bob Gregory, your weatherman, is our honorary chairman, and it's at the Broadmoor Country Club.
Okay, and how can people get involved?
Just call Ken Ayers, who's the vice president of our development, at Visiting Nurse Service, 722-8200, extension 299.
299. 722-8200, extension 299.
Right.
And can anybody, I mean, obviously this is to raise funds. How much does it cost to get involved, and can individuals get involved?
Individuals can do it for $200, and a foursome's $800. And it's just a lot of fun, and I can guarantee you'll be better than I am.
We have the number up on the screen right now for those who would like to call and be a part of this golf outing on July the 25th. That's next month. And what's the goal this year? How much do you hope to raise? How much do you really need to raise?
We would like to raise any place from $10,000 to $20,000 with the golf outing.
Okay,
and with our donations and everything, we have companies that donate money to the corporation. We hope to be able to do that.
Okay, will the visiting nurse service be in jeopardy without the finances this year?
Not in jeopardy, no, but we really do need the money to give to those who can't pay for their own care.
All right, Judy Moon, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good luck to you. Pat?
Oh, and Eyewitness News continues. If you are trying to lose weight, should you cut meat out of your diet? We'll let you know. Also coming up, find out how the sun may be the best treatment for one common skin disease. Those details coming up.
On the next Cops. Police find ammunition and know a gun can't be far behind.
I swear to God, I don't have no gun.
It's a deadly game of hide and seek.
We prevented a drive-by, or they just finished doing a drive-by.
On Cops.
Monday at 7:30 on WTHR.
What? I think sharing the meal with just the family is very important.
At Bob Evans, we believe in family.
The kids just really like that because we always get a chance to listen to hear what they have to say.
So our dinners come at family prices.
About what happened at school and whose friend did this and what.
With a special Bob Evans kids menu for just $1.99.
You share things with them that you don't share with other people, and that's important.
I'm on the end too, but Pamela's sitting across from me in house.
They come from every part of America, training a lifetime for one chance at greatness. They're our best hopes and our closest thing to perfection. They're our Olympic athletes, and this summer, they're the home team. The Olympics, America's Games on NBC.
Imagine a natural supplement that can actually help you think better. New Ginkgo, shown in tests to help improve your memory and sharpen concentration. Now that's a big idea. Remember New Ginkgo, the thinking person supplement.
As we age, we change. Our hearing, eyesight, and if you wear dentures, you should know that your mouth changes too. Even if your dentures feel okay, you should have them checked regularly to avoid problems that could seriously affect your health and appearance. We'll check your dentures, and if you need replacements, we make affordable dentures. Our economy set's just $190. Call 1-800-DENTURE for information. New dentures at affordable prices. Now, that's a good reason to smile.
The Weldons have 3 foster kids besides their own. With a family that big, everybody helps and every penny counts. That's why they shop at Target for great prices on quality clothes in all the latest styles. And Tide to help keep their clothes looking like new.
With more powerful stain fighters, Liquid Tide gets out many tough stains bargain brands can leave behind, and it helps keep cottons looking like new.
For the Weldons, the better clean is the best value.
Get Liquid Tide at Target.
In health news this noon, is red meat nutritious for you or not? For years now, doctors have sounded the warnings that red meat elevates cholesterol and contributes to heart disease. Then, a recent study suggested well-done beef causes cancer, and now there's the British mad cow disease to worry about. But 3 new diet books written by doctors suggest you can lose weight and stay healthy by eating high-protein food, including red meat. Doctors say you should limit beef if you have a weight problem, high cholesterol, or family history of heart disease or cancer. Well, the Food and Drug Administration approved the first in a new class of AIDS drugs today, Boehringer Ingelheim's nevirapine. I think that's how it's pronounced. The drugs can be used only in combination with older AIDS medicines. All the drugs inhibit an enzyme called reverse transcriptase that is important for HIV to reproduce.
Well, when would a doctor say try going out into the summer sun? Well, the answer is when you suffer from psoriasis. Carolyn Gussoff says that when the sun can actually help patients suffering from this skin disease.
We all know the damage the sun can do to your skin, but for some people, a dose of sunshine can be therapeutic. People like this Long Island salesman whose psoriasis all over his body is so severe, he doesn't want us to show his face.
I find myself shying away from people, not going, not socializing. I find myself staying away because of that. I'm very self-conscious of it.
Psoriasis is an inherited disease that strikes millions. Many have found that sun exposure and special light treatments help dramatically. Under her doctor's supervision, Alice von Brownsberg spends 20 hours per week in the sun. She takes a special light sensitizing drug called oxorelin and undergoes ultraviolet light treatments. Her psoriasis is all but gone.
I know that when I go out and I put on a pair of shorts, I don't think about it.
This kind of light treatment has actually been around since the 1970s, but these days, patients are much more aware of the dangers of skin cancer, and they're carefully weighing the risks and benefits.
Obviously, there's a risk-benefit equation, a ratio that you have to consider. And it's true that all ultraviolet therapy is carcinogenic.
But dermatologist Dr. Paul Schneiderman says he screens his psoriasis patients regularly for skin cancer. And despite the higher risk, many make a quality of life choice.
At this particular point, it's worth the risk. It makes you feel like a human being when your skin is clear instead of as an outsider.
Alice has also made the choice. She's checked for skin cancer regularly, and after a lifetime of suffering, her psoriasis is in remission that may last years. Carolyn Gussoff for NBC News.
Well, the drug and ultraviolet light therapy is known as PUVA, that's P-U-V-A, and is covered by most insurance policies.
Well, still to come at noon, you would never leave your young child at home alone. But what about your pets? Next, we'll show you a daycare with the canine in mind.
Also ahead, we'll get some tips on how to tell if your dog suffers from an ear infection. That's when Eyewitness News continues.
SkyTrack weather on Eyewitness News. It's state-of-the-art weather technology like Storm Tracker that can pinpoint when and where a storm will hit. First Alert Storm Warning System, Doppler Plus radar, and the team of Bob Gregory, Chuck Lofton, and Bill Meck. SkyTrack weather on Eyewitness News. It's weather like you've never seen before. It's coverage you can count on. Eyewitness News is brought to you in part by Farm Bureau Insurance. Serving you is a Hoosier tradition.
Something special is happening at Farm Bureau Insurance. After 60 years of doing business, our Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company has accumulated $1 billion in assets. To some, this achievement might reflect our enduring commitment to stability. But to you, the policyholder, it signifies something of far greater value, the promise of a bright future.
Have you made the switch to Eyewitness News on NDTV? It's the best news at 10 o'clock. And here's just a few reasons why. From breaking stories to live reports, Jack Martin and Jill Dittmeyer will bring you the new news. And where else can you find exclusive SkyTrack weather with Indiana's favorite weatherman, Bob Gregory? Plus, the biggest names with Dave Calabro Sports. Make the switch to Eyewitness News on NDTV. It's coverage you can count on.
After 20 years, nobody throws a party like Chi-Chi's. We toss in the ripest tomatoes, the zestiest peppers and onions, and the freshest tortillas. Then toss in your choice of tender steak or chicken or both, and you've got our authentic sizzling fajitas, now just $7.99. We even throw in complimentary chips and salsa, then add our fantastic drinks. At these prices, when Chi-Chi's throws a party, it's gonna be a blowout.
So does your next paycheck seem like a long, long way off? Then call Check and Go, and we'll help light the way till your next payday. We'll cash your personal check today and deposit it 2 weeks later. It's that easy. Just call us today. Check and Go, the fastest way to payday.
Well, pets can get ear infections just like humans, and when these infections go untreated, it can be very dangerous to your pet.
And this one's a healthy one right here, though. Joining us this noontime is a friend and Dr. Sandy Norman, a director of the State Board of Animal Health, with more information about ear infections in pets. But first, tell us about this little gal.
Well, this little guy is, little girl, excuse me, is one of 3, and probably got a hound mix of some sort, and she needs a home along with her brother and sister.
Okay. And she's from the Humane Society.
She's from the Humane Society, so give them a call.
We don't have a name yet. Huh?
No name. 9 weeks old female, and of course she'll have to be spayed, but she'd make a good pet. She seems pretty quiet.
Oh, she's a sweetie.
And get her down, she'll get used to your family. She'll make a nice pet this summer.
Okay. Now, she doesn't have an ear infection, so what are some of the signs that pet owners can look for?
There are some real cardinal signs. They shake their heads. They sometimes will scratch at their ears, and in real severe cases, they'll actually tilt their head to one side if it's more severe in one ear or the other, but you have to watch that because if it's bad in both ears, they won't have a head tilt.
So something like even when children, they scratch their ears when a child can't tell
Very similar. Kids will tug at their ears, things like that. Dogs tend to become very irritated. Their ears are very important sense to them. They hear very well, very distinctly, better than we do, and so their ears are very important to them. They have a much bigger ear canal than we do, and their ear infections generally, instead of being middle ear infections like children's are, they're external ear infections. But they can progress to middle ear infections, and that's very serious for a dog.
Okay, what can happen if it is going untreated?
External ear infections start out sometimes as ear mites. Those are actually like little bugs in the ear. The bacteria can get into that, makes it worse. And if it becomes very severe, it can penetrate into the eardrum. And if it does that, then it becomes a middle ear infection and possibly an internal ear infection. That can damage their hearing permanently. It also can produce, if it gets into the internal ear, it can potentially produce some pretty serious infections because you're pretty close to the brain there.
So how do you go about treating the ear infection?
Well, it's best to catch them early. And ear infections can be chronic. There's breeds, like this little girl here has floppy ears, and that makes her a little more susceptible. The dogs with ears flop over are a little more susceptible because they don't get good oxygen flow into the ear, and the ears, people don't see inside the ears as well. So what you need to do is when you see your dog scratch into your ears, look inside. First of all, and when you look inside, sometimes you'll see a discharge. It'll be malcolored. Instead of being a nice pink white ear, you might see black or brown and even greenish discharge. In that case, get him to a veterinarian, because the earlier you treat them, the easier they're going to be to clear up.
When you're looking inside for the discharge, are the mites large enough where you could see it with the naked eye?
You can't really see them with the naked eye, but you can see the real black, greasy discharge that's typical of ear mites. Now, sometimes you won't see that. If it's a bacterial or a fungal infection, you'll see a greenish discharge or a brown discharge. It just depends. But when you see those first signs, go early, because the earlier you treat it, the quicker it's going to heal, and the less chance you have a recurrence.
Okay, will cats get that too?
Cats will get that too, and cats are very infamous for getting ear mites, real severe infections. So you need to watch them too.
Okay. Thanks again.
Thank you.
And hope she gets a home.
Hope she gets home too.
All right. Well, most of us go to work every day, and many of us have dogs that get left at home alone. But Fido does not have to spend the day by himself anymore. Dan Hossel takes you to the Pooch Palace, a daycare for doggies in Watertown, Massachusetts.
They're here for a couple of weeks, and this is Max. This is Phoebe. Here's Max.
Welcome to Pooch Palace, doggy daycare and hound dog hotel in Watertown. Marcia Sassoon, the self-described dog lady, ran out of room boarding Bowser's in her house a few years ago, bought this place and turned it over to the dogs.
They're here on an overnight interview.
An overnight interview?
Yep.
What do you do on an interview if you're a dog here?
Dogs.
I'm sorry.
They're princes, princesses, and pooches. That's why people bring them to us.
If your pooch passes the interview process, he or she will be pampered, prodded, and provided for, just like you might at home.
Okay, guys, let's go. Dinner time.
He has carrots for treats. He's on a low-fat diet. And he has low-fat cheese you have to wrap his pills in.
For $10 to $15 a day, working moms can get daycare.
People laugh at me all the time when I tell them he goes to doggy daycare.
What do you tell them?
I say, no, it's good for him. It means I'm taking care of my dog. I'd send my child to daycare.
If you had one.
Right, if I had one.
For just a bit more, Bowser can stay the night in the boudoir or the salon. Classic canine art abounds. Marcia runs a respectable boarding house here, though. She says all dogs must be altered. There's no nookie. This is a hotel, not a motel.
Right, we yell out the window, there's no sex at the Pooch Palace. Get off!
When all is said and done, though, Marcia insists she sends her clients, 2-footed and 4-footed, home happy. Do some of your clients tell you you're nuts, but they're glad you're here?
My kids tell me regularly.
Your kids do. Your kids do.
Wonder if they use the playground equipment there.
So the way that place is. Well, still to come at noon, gardening can be a challenge if you don't have a green thumb.
Next, Christiana Nichols comes to the rescue to show us a different type of gardening that lets you show your creative side.
Got a problem that burns you up? Don't get mad. Let troubleshooter John Baird cut through the red tape and get results for you.
She paid a $50 application fee, and then months later...
He's on watch against consumer fraud and government waste. He's working for you only on Channel 13 Eyewitness News with John Stair and Ann Ryder. It's coverage you can count on.
No matter how enjoyable it might be, you'd never think of moving your living room outdoors. But now with a Better Living Patio Room, you can create a beautiful new outdoor living room. A room that not only adds a delightful new space to your home, it adds a whole new dimension to your lifestyle.
It's not just adding a room, it's adding your whole yard. I don't have the feeling like I'm looking out a window when I'm out here. I have a feeling like I'm outdoors.
You don't really feel that you're looking through windows. You're just outside.
Now we enjoy the whole backyard too, so we added a lot more than just the measurements of this room.
At a fraction of the cost of adding a standard room, a Better Living Patio Room truly is the affordable way to expand the size and enjoyment of your home. It creates the perfect place for entertaining, dining, or just relaxing. And it does it without all the time, hassles, and mess of standard construction. Because in less than a week, a Better Living Patio Room transforms your old deck or patio into a beautiful new room that lets you enjoy the outdoors all season long, regardless of weather.
For 5 or 6 years, we looked at the deck from the inside. We did not use it. Since we've added the room, we've used it continuously.
Every Better Living Patio Room is custom built to add a distinctive new look to your home. And the wide variety of options and styles lets you design a room that perfectly suits your needs and budget. Call right now for this free information in the mail that shows just how easily and affordably your family could be enjoying all the benefits of a Better Living Patio Room. See for yourself the beauty, value, and versatility it adds to your home, and why it quickly becomes the favorite room in the house. When you call, you'll also receive this special limited-time savings offer, which could save you hundreds of dollars if you decide to get a patio room for your home.
It's been a wonderful investment, and I think it's really enhanced my life. Better Living's a good name.
So it may not be practical to move your living room outdoors, but the perfect outdoor living room could be just a phone call away. Give Better Living Patio Rooms a call today.
It's probably safe to say that gardening has become one of America's favorite outdoor pastimes.
And whether you're a beginner like me or a pro, gardening can be a lot of fun. Christiana joins us today with a new twist to every type of gardening, inside and out.
That's right. When the weather's permitting, many of us like to work outside. Well, now there's a unique magazine that can add beauty and creativity to all your hard work. Joining me today is Helen Nash. She's the owner of Water Gardening Magazine with some different kinds of gardening. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Now, Helen, we're going to go ahead and take a look. This is the book, the magazine that you have out. You've had 3 out so far.
Right.
Very, very popular. Who does Water Gardening Magazine actually relate to?
It relates to the backyard pond gardener and also the tub garden ponder. Any form of gardening that involves water, that's what it's for.
Now, for the first time gardener like myself or Liz had said heard also, what are some different things that we can do, let's say if we do have a pond?
Okay, the number one question that comes up is, my water's green, what do I do? Okay, you don't have to have green water.
Now what
right
is this?
there's the solution. This is a submerged oxygenating grass. Well, it's called oxygenating, which is a misnomer. What it is a water clarifier. It takes excess nutrients out of the water and leaves your water crystal clear.
So you actually submerge this into your pond?
Exactly.
Okay. Ponds of all different sizes?
Right.
Okay.
The formula is 1 bunch of this per square foot of water surface. And if you have that much in there, and you don't have too many fish.
Okay. Okay. Now, what happens if you do not have a pond or even a small area, waterfall in your yard, and you want to still reap the benefits of water gardening? What do we have here?
Okay, this is the fun thing. You can take a piece of lava rock and carve it out, and you'll notice that it's plumbed so that you can have this little attachment.
Okay,
this
now is that a filter?
Small pump. No,
Okay.
this is nothing but a pump.
Okay, let me see.
Can you get
And
it
you
on
stick
there?
that through
you
there,
go.
okay.
Okay, and then the water will be recycled through this, bubble up through here. If you have little children and you're concerned about it being safe, you can actually set this in a tub and put a grate over it and fill above the grate with small pebbles or something like that.
Now these are clay, right?
These are clay balls, right, that have been fired. Okay, the water will recycle up through it, and you can grow plants like parrot's feather, hydroponically right in the rocks.
Now, who do you think that this magazine, basically, do you think it's geared more towards the expert gardener, or does it give a lot of tips on people that just want to get started?
It covers everything from design, construction, how to take care of your fish. We even cover personalities, you know, the whole gamut of the experience.
Right.
And we talk about frogs too.
I thought this was great. This was a great idea. This is a way I think that you can still have your landscaping very pretty and still protect your home, which is a very good idea. What about tadpoles? You had mentioned those. What do these do?
Okay, the tadpoles actually eat algae. That's one of their, a lot of times if the children go out and they pull some tadpoles out of a little puddle, you want to make sure to come up with some algae to feed them or they're going to die. These little tadpoles have got daphnia or water fleas in the water, and they're having a feast.
And I know a lot of people definitely would like to get involved in water gardening. If you're interested, you can call the number we have up on the screen. It's 317-769-3278. And Liz and Pat, this is more the type of gardening that I would like to do rather than the vegetables. I think this is something that is absolutely gorgeous.
Well, she makes it sound very easy, doesn't she?
Very easy.
All right.
And aren't these beautiful?
Those
These are water
gorgeous.
lilies.
Yeah, very nice.
Thank
All right,
you,
thanks.
Christiana.
Well, coming up, Chuck Lofton will be back with the final check of our weather.
And a popular video game hits the market in one country. That's coming up.
I'm Jill Dittmeyer. In my HealthCast report tonight, a breakthrough in the fight against
When it's medical news that could change your life,
the FDA has just approved a new drug helping people to
and you need to know now. You'll hear it first in Jill Dittmeyer's HealthCast reports. Sponsored by Revco, weeknights only on Eyewitness News. It's coverage you can count on.
Food science companies need you.
Pharmaceutical firms need you.
Cosmetic companies need you.
Right now, top companies need chemical technicians, but can't find enough properly qualified people.
For an informative brochure on how you can begin developing the chemical technology skills employers are looking for and earn an associate's degree in just 2 years, call 1-800-942-0088.
But call now.
Because environmental firms need you.
Household products companies need you.
Biotech companies.
Now, today's Positively Indiana calendar with Liz Daly.
Hello, it's 5 days of food and fun when you take a trip to Grant County this week. Dozens of activities begin this evening at the Converse Fairgrounds and continue through Saturday. Call for directions. Don't get left at the starting gate. Tickets are still available for the Doodah Derby. Post time for this wellness community fundraiser is 6:30 p.m. Thursday at Hoosier Park in Anderson. That's today's community calendar. Have a great Monday.
For years, it's been a classic piece of Americana. The outside changed, the inside stayed the same. Until today, introducing the new bucket at KFC. Now you can mix roasted chicken with fried chicken and bring home everybody's favorite pieces of Americana. And now mix and match 12 pieces of your choice in the new Any Way You Like It bucket, just $10.99.
Your home is one of your biggest investments. It deserves the champion. And so do you.
I'm a press punch operator. I think the thing I like most about working here is the people. It's a good atmosphere to work in.
I work on a computerized glass cutter. It saves waste on the material. With savings, we pass on to the customers.
My job here as a floor foreman is to make sure nothing gets out of here, and that's just at the highest quality.
Buy factory direct and save. Call for your free estimate.
Well, after last night, we were kind of glad to hear Chuck's news just a little bit ago that the storm watch has been canceled.
I was really glad to hear it, too, for two reasons. Number one, no real bad weather around here. Number two, I get to get out of here on time. That's important, isn't it? My own personal comfort. Let's take a look again at the watch area after we take a look at a beautiful day downtown. I'll tell you, it's hot and humid out there, but it looks like the storm is moving to the southeast. And again, this severe thunderstorm watch originally was in effect until 5 o'clock. And let's show you that if we can now. It has been canceled, fortunately. The showers and thunderstorms that continue to move off into Ohio are real strong now. You can see in central Ohio, that is some nasty weather. But for us, just a few high clouds. Could see a stray thunderstorm, warm and muggy. Today's high 88, right now 82.
It's like a steam bath.
It is.
Okay, thanks, Chuck. Finally, this noontime, a new 64-bit 3D version of the popular video game Nintendo is now on sale in Japan. Even before the electronics stores opened, video game fans stood in line waiting to be the first to buy the new machine. Nintendo plans to deliver 500,000 units of the new superior graphics machine to retailers this month. The company expects domestic sales to reach 3.6 million units by next March. In addition to the player, Nintendo is releasing 3 new software titles. The machine sells for $230 in Japan and will go for $250 in the U.S.
All right. Well, that'll do it for this edition of Channel 13 Eyewitness News at noon. I'm Pat Carlini.
And I'm Liz Daly. For Chuck Lofton and all of us, have a great day. Lisa is next.